McMichael was born on October 17, 1957, in Houston, Texas. His parents separated before his second birthday, and his mother later remarried E.V. McMichael, an oil company executive whose surname McMichael adopted. His surname at birth has not been publicly reported. He had three other siblings, older brother John Richard and younger sisters Kathy and Sharon. The family moved to Freer, where he attended Freer High School. In his senior year, he lettered in 6 sports: football, basketball, baseball, track, tennis, and golf. Baseball was his preferred sport, and whilst playing as a catcher, he batted .450 in his senior year, garnering attention from the St. Louis Cardinals and Cincinnati Reds. McMichael's performances for his high school football team saw him being offered scholarships by 75 institutions. He decided to attend the University of Texas at Austin. He played as a defensive tackle for the Texas Longhorns football team from 1976 to 1979, but his freshman season was marred by the death of his stepfather. In his senior season, he was a consensus first-team All-American, and he was defensive MVP at the 1979 Hula Bowl. During his time at Texas, he was an All-Southwest Conference choice in 1978 and 1979, the team MVP in 1979, and the backup place kicker in 1977. In 1999, he was inducted into the Longhorn Hall of Honor. On July 17, 2010, McMichael was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. McMichael was drafted out of Texas in 1980 by the New England Patriots, but was cut before his second season. The Chicago Bears signed him as a free agent in 1981. He became one of their starting defensive tackles and helped them to a Super Bowl win in 1985. He had a streak of 101 games started until 1990, when his playing time was reduced. He led the Bears with 111/2 sacks in 1988. He had 108 tackles in 1989. McMichael was named to the NFC's Pro Bowl teams for the 1986 and 1987 seasons. McMichael gained notability in a 1991 game against the New York Jets. With the Bears down 13-6 with 1:54 remaining, McMichael forced a Blair Thomas fumble and recovered it at the New York 36. Quarterback Jim Harbaugh then threw a game-tying touchdown to Neil Anderson with 18 left in the game. The Bears went on to win in overtime when Harbaugh scored on a 1-yard TD run. Bears coach Mike Ditka said in 2005 that McMichael was the toughest player he had ever coached. He played with the Green Bay Packers in 1994 before retiring. Aside from his Mongo moniker, McMichael was also nicknamed Ming the Merciless, or Ming for short. In August 2023, he was named a finalist for the Seniors Ballot of the Pro Football Hall of Fame for the class of 2024. He had previously been nominated in 2014 and 2015. On February 8, 2024, McMichael was officially selected to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was formally inducted on August 3, 2024, with his sister Kathy delivering a speech on his behalf. Members of the 1985 Bears traveled to his home to share the celebration with him. After the end of his NFL career, he appeared at ringside in the WWF for Lawrence Taylor at WrestleMania 11 on April 2, 1995, in Hartford, Connecticut. Taylor was wrestling Bam Bam Bigelow, and there were several football players at ringside to keep wrestlers from interfering in the match. During the March 20th episode of Monday Night Raw, McMichael provided guest commentary with Vince McMahon and would later brawl with Kama Mustafa, one of Bigelow's comrades. The fight was all over the arena floor and almost into the stands, knocking over the broadcast table, soon being broken up by personnel. Taylor ended up winning the later match. In 1995, McMichael was hired by World Championship Wrestling, WCW. On September 4, 1995, he made his debut with the company as the pro babyface color commentator on the premiere of WCW Monday Nitro, with Bobby Heenan fulfilling his typical pro-heel commentator role alongside lead broadcaster Eric Bischoff. McMichael would root for the popular wrestlers during matches, would bicker with Heenan on a regular basis, and brought his dog Pepe with him to the broadcast booth. McMichael co-hosted a Bears pregame show with Jeff Dickerson on ESPN 1000 in Chicago. He was the head coach of the Chicago Slaughter of the Indoor Football League from 2007 until the team's final season in 2013. McMichael and fellow 1985 Chicago Bears alumni Dan Hampton and Otis Wilson performed in a rock and roll oldies band, with entertaining satirical Mike Ditka verses, called the Chicago Six. On August 7, 2001, During the seventh-inning stretch of a game between the Chicago Cubs and the Colorado Rockies at Wrigley Field, McMichael, who was visiting the Cubs television booth, took a turn as the guest singer for "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Earlier in the game, in the bottom of the sixth inning, home plate umpire Angel Hernandez had controversially called Cubs infielder Ron Coomer out at the plate. Before singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," McMichael announced to those in attendance over the PA system that he would have some speaks with Hernandez after the game, presumably as a result of Hernandez's call on Coomer. Crew chief Randy Marsh ordered McMichael to be ejected from the ballpark, and the umpires later received an apology for McMichael's conduct from then Cubs general manager Andy MacPhail. On August 16, 2012, McMichael announced his intentions to run for mayor of Romeoville, Illinois. He lost the race to incumbent John Noke, garnering 39% of the vote. In 1985, McMichael married Deborah Marshall. They divorced in 1998. McMichael married Misty Davenport on March 24, 2001. Their daughter, Macy Dale, was born in 2008. On April 23, 2021, McMichael announced that he had been diagnosed with Amyotrophic Lateral Sclerosis, ALS. The Les Turner ALS Foundation awarded McMichael the ALS Courage Award on September 18, 2021. McMichael was transferred to hospice care in Joliet, Illinois, on April 23, 2025, and died later that day due to complications from ALS at the age of 67.